show me that, yes, you care about me and that you are not abandoning me.
Yeah.
And for you, it's like, let me get away and be on my own because I don't need you to show me that I'm good enough.
Yeah.
I think that could lead to some issues.
Seriously, I never thought it would take me this long to watch an episode of Love is Blind. It has taken me over 3 days, if not 4, to watch this whole episode 2. I think it's because of the lack of diversity and the fact that everybody looks the same and the storylines are not making sense. And so it's just so... I don't know whether they were in a rush to make another season and they just sort of pieced things together. They need to take a moment. I think there needs to be one drop every year. I think them going back to back to back is why we're having these crappy sort of episodes or seasons, because I personally watching it, I think the villain that nobody expected that is going to turn out to be the villain is Mason. I think Mason is telling the girls what they want to hear, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the end. But anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 8, Episode 2. So you start off with the dates. Obviously, it's a continuation of the dates. You have Danielle and Taylor. Taylor, her dad had cancer, and they talk about that. And they then talk about tattoos. She's got a Taco Bell tattoo in her lip, so she hid it there because she didn't want her mom to see it. And he talks about getting a tattoo as well once they're married. And it's like, oh, there's more to a relationship than getting them matching tattoos. But if it works for you, amazing. You then have Sarah. She's the oncology nurse. So she likes a guy that makes her laugh, and she goes on a date with Ben. They both discuss food, and Ben is sort of saying to her, "I don't want to know about your body type. I'm just asking, are you someone who enjoys food, someone who enjoys cooking?" So they agree on that they both love that. They talk about Sarah's sister who is gay. So Sarah wants to sort of find out how Ben feels about that. Is he religious? If he's religious, what does he think about gay people? And she sort of makes it known that she is sort of not into sort of Christianity per se because of the fact that they demonize gay people. They agree that they're both religious, but they are not they agree that they're spiritual but not religious, I think was the thing they agreed upon. Obviously, Ben said he's open. He would like his partner to go to church with him, but she doesn't necessarily need to go to that church. And so they have an agreement that this is something they will talk further about. And it's like, if someone is saying church is very important to them, and you are saying you have these ideas against church, how then have the two of you gone from that to suddenly thinking that the two of you will make it work? I don't quite understand, and I'm confused about that. One thing about Love is Blind is on day one, people are best friends. They're cheering each other. They're rooting for each other. And then by the time they get to 3, 4, people are becoming territorial. And it's really sad because it's like, you don't own this guy. You can't be complaining that, oh, I'm upset that someone else is saying that they're dating my person. What? And it's like, Lauren, please. Because you have Lauren, she's in a confessional. She's upset because Molly told her that, David is her number one. And so now Lauren is in her head thinking, is she telling me because she wants me to step away, or is she telling me because she doesn't know that I'm dating him? And it's like, you were asked, Lauren, that who is your top, and you said you didn't want to share it. So how could she know that David was your top? Make it make sense. I don't get it. And so the idea that she would be that upset that she would want to sort of, confront him and tell him, I don't want you to see anyone else. It's like, this is not the real world. You're on Love is Blind. You're all dating multiple people and you're creating connections. And the person you connect with is the person you live with. And for you to say, oh, I might open up to someone and then, he doesn't choose me. That's the risk you take, Lauren, love. That's the risk you take when you're on Love is Blind. Otherwise, go home. Try and look for your person there, and hopefully you'll find him. And so she's upset with that. She goes on her date with David, and she's sort of trying to suss out to see if David sort of cancelled his trip with his date with Molly. And it's like, seriously, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Don't just talk because you want to talk, because at the end of the day, if you really were secure with him and if he was really secure with you, then the two of you would have shut it down. The problem is the two of you told each other what you felt you wanted to hear, and you're now in this space whereby you don't know what to do because you really like this guy and he might be liking somebody else. Yes, I blame David, because David is telling both girls what they want to hear. He's telling them both that I really like you. He's very indecisive. So you have Molly thinking she's number one, and you have Lauren thinking she's number one. When he's on his date with Lauren, he seems to be having the best time. He's telling, I'm having the most amazing time with you. I haven't had a better date. And then when he goes to Molly, he's saying exactly the same thing, because he went for a date with Molly afterwards and he was telling Molly, oh, I really enjoy my time with you. I really like you. We have a lot in common. You seem like someone who's always happy. That's like, make it make sense. He reveals to Molly that he's cheated before. And I don't know whether this was a ploy on his part to try and get Molly to say, okay, fine, I don't want anything to do with you. But Molly said, I've never been in a relationship that serious and I've never cheated on someone. So I wouldn't know how that feels. So I can't judge you on that. She, however, reveals that, she was involved in somebody else cheating on somebody else. And it's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why are we doing this? Are we lacking anything to talk about? Make it make sense. I don't know. I really don't know who's going to pick between the two girls, but it's sad that they're becoming territorial, and it's sad that it's going to end in tears, just like any other person who's gone on Love is Blind. So you have Monica. She goes on a date with Joey. Joey's the guy who was saying he gives golden retriever vibes. They have a little dance. It was really cute. I love this for them. Do I see them working outside of the experiment? I don't know, because I think this is our first time seeing them. The problem with this season is everybody looks alike, and so it's very difficult to say who you've seen before and who you haven't. So I like them. I think they mostly talked about her dad's dancing. They seemed very giddy and very bubbly, so I can't wait to see what they do next. Sorry, but this season of Love is Blind is hard to watch. I don't know whether it's just me, but it's hard to watch. I've done everything else but watch it because I don't know why. It's just boring. Anyway, you have Mason and Madison go on a date and they're just talking about their family and, their roles and what they want in life. He then goes on a date with Meg, and I think, this is what I think, because he was talking about his favorite movie and music and stuff with Madison. And I think Madison, maybe when she went into the girls' lounge, she went and repeated everything that they had discussed, because suddenly Meg comes out and she's talking about, my favorite movie is this, what's your... So she's sort of hinting at more or less the points that they discussed, and it makes me side-eye her that, is Meg really connected to this guy, or is she using insider information to win this guy over? Is she always going there, having conversations with Madison and listening to what Madison is saying, and then from that conversation, she then comes up with what to discuss when she goes on a date with Mason? I'm not sure. I'm side-eyeing that. You have Devon go on a date. His first date is with Virginia. Both Virginia and Brittany are older than him, but somehow he sort of hints at that. I think because he knows that Virginia is a dancer, so he must like that about her. And because already you have Brittany having told him that she's very petite, I think, or she's very short. I think this is why. Because he's having these conversations. He's asking, "What are you wearing?" Reminding me of Shane on his season, and it's like, that's not necessary. And so they talk about music and stuff, and it's like, oh my God, I don't get it, because it seems these dates, these people are more or less recycling the same conversation, and I don't know this because they're not allowed to discuss anything else or what it is in particular. Because on his date with Brittany, they were talking about, music and her favorite music, and she talks about the fact that growing up she was very protected. There were certain types of music she wasn't allowed to listen to. Her mother was very strict. Her dad doesn't know that she's on the show, and her mother is aware, and she's worried. And it's like, I really don't quite get these conversations. Oh my God, it's already annoying. I don't know how I'll get through these seasons until they leave the pods, because I am yet to see a genuine connection between any of the couples. It seems like they're more there for clout, and they're telling each other what they feel the other person wants to hear so that they're picked. Because at the end of the day, if you're picked to be proposed to, then there's a higher likelihood that Netflix is going to show your story, and you're going to get the opportunities to have, some sort of clout after the show. Anyway, we have Joey become engaged to Monica. They're the first couple to get engaged. Always on Love is Blind, there's that couple that we barely see their journey, that we suddenly see get engaged and then suddenly they're married. And I have a feeling they're going to be that couple unless she's not impressed with his looks and when they have the reveal. But we've barely got to see their journey. We've barely heard their conversations and suddenly they're proposing. And this happens for couples that are drama free, that the producers can't find anything to latch on. They show their whatever bits of the journey that they can, that they think are dramatic, and then we go to proposal. Because even the conversation about animals and, do you know which is the most monogamous animal, and that didn't make sense to me, because I don't know how they came to talk about animals. Is that something they share? Is that something they have in common? What is that? Anyway, she accepts his proposal. She's giddy. She's happy. He's happy as well. I remember seeing him on the first day and sort of saying he looks older than he looks. But hey, if she's happy, I love it for her. We have Alex go on a date with Madison. And so Madison is being asked, how do you handle, confrontation? How do you deal with challenging situations? And she reveals that she grew up with, a very angry dad. So she doesn't deal with very well with conflicts. She avoids conflicts. She's an avoidant. They talk about cheating. She says she's been cheated on multiple times, and so he has never cheated, and this surprises her because she's yet to come across someone who hasn't cheated. And my question to Madison is, why are people constantly cheating on you? That's my question. Why are people constantly cheating on you? What is it in particular that you do? They talk about attachment styles. Obviously, hers is avoidance. They talk about the fact that her parents had a substance abuse, and she asked them to pick her at one point, whether to pick her or the drugs, and they chose the drugs. And it's like, what did you expect, Sherlock Holmes? What did you expect? People with an addiction are very difficult. It's sort of you trying to manipulate them. They're addicted to this thing. They need proper help in order to give it up. Yes, they can choose you, but if they are not at the point of giving up, then they're still going to go back. So it was a no-win situation you were in, and you were never going to win over substance abuse until your parents were ready to sort of give that up. So Madison's next date is with Mason, and I personally don't understand this. This is why I said it seems like people choose someone that they can talk about sex with or things that are that sort of side, and then they choose another person who they talk about sort of deep conversations, because her conversations with Alex are totally different to her conversations with Mason. Because with Mason, they're talking about, what are you wearing? I was dreaming of you, cuddling you, holding you. You make me feel very giddy. Things that have nothing to do with depth. They're very superficial stuff. So it makes me question, what is going on here? Is it the human mind? Because it's a common theme I've seen about people on Love is Blind, whereby they will have an emotional, spiritual connection with someone where they offload all their baggage, and it's up to that person whether to accept them or not. And then they'll have this sort of fairy tale, sort of romantic, sort of flirty sort of situationship. And it's sort of like, I don't think Mason is a person. I really don't. I think if she were to accept a proposal, it would be Alex. That's if Alex is willing to put up with the baggage that comes with someone like Madison, because she comes with a lot of baggage given her family history. So you have Mason go on a date with Meg, and they're sort of talking. I would have thought that his date with Meg would be the more in-depth one, since his date with Madison was where she was twerking for him. But he's sort of half there, he's phoning it in. They do talk about a lot of things, how this sort of experience has changed them in what they look for in a partner, and how they see their future, and what qualities they want in someone, or how they have evolved as people. But at the end of the day, there's something a bit off with Mason for me. Meg is excited, she's giddy. According to her, Mason is her number one, but it doesn't seem she's his number one. I think Mason doesn't know what he wants. I think he's going to end up proposing to someone just because he wants to be on the show, not because he really likes them. Because I'm yet to see sort of him having an in-depth conversation with anyone. You have Meg go back and tell the girls that I think I'm not my number one's number one. And it's like, well, you can't expect your stars to align. If you've gone for 3-4 dates and the person is still eyeing and maybe it's worth you checking out. You'd rather go home than to force a connection with somebody that's not there, but that's just my opinion. We have Joey and Monica prepare for the first reveal, and I can't wait to see what happens there, what their first impressions will be. Hopefully episode 3 will be better, because episode 1 and 2 have just been a drag to watch. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 1. Bye guys.